What's up? Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm bringing you my very first Halloween tutorial. This one was kind of, it got carried away. It wasn't supposed to end up, I really don't know. With that being said, I created this sort of like, I don't know, like a skull, I guess, like a skull looking face. I really was digging this type of mouth that I did. Everyone always does like the teeth, but I wanted to do something different. I like to draw these types of flowers that like go like this, and I figured I would use those and incorporate them somehow into my mouth. After I finished doing this skull makeup, I was like, this is super boring, and so voila, that's where the paint splatters and the paint drips and all that came in play. Honestly, was not expecting to do this. I was expecting to go like full out skull, face, and body, and it ended up turning into a mess, and I already ruined my $9 Walmart cape. Yeah. This is my first time using any type of body paints like this, and I just wanted to kind of experiment with it without really going into too much detail and just doing something pretty simple. Obviously this is not good. We live and we learn. I'm super excited to bring this tutorial to you guys today. This will be a voiceover because there's no way I could talk through this. So this will be a voiceover. I think I do all my Halloween tutorials voiceover just because it's a lot easier. Don't forget to give this video a huge thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you guys have not already. And also don't forget to follow me on all of my social media such as Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, all that, because I'll be posting like videos and just all that stuff. Yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into the video. To start off, I'm going to prime my face, and I'm using this Wet n Wild face primer. This is just a really cheap drugstore primer that works really well. And the first thing that we're going to go into is a white face paint. This is the Mayron, I believe it's called Clown White paint, and I got this in my Mayron face paint set. So I'm just applying that with a brush, and then I decided to go in with a sponge, and then I hated the sponge, so I went in with a foundation brush, and then of course I went back to the sponge. I just had a lot of trouble applying this. I don't know if I was applying too much water or if I was just not using the right tools, but I got irritated, so I moved on to the black, and now I'm outlining my eyes with this black face paint by Mayron as well, and I'm just using a flat concealer brush, and this worked out fine. I feel like the white came out a little bit more patchy, and I feel like that's normal for a white because I don't know, it just really is. So I just applied that all over in a circle on my eyes. So as you see, I didn't apply any white in that area just because I didn't want to mix the colors and make it a gray, because that is exactly what would happen. So I just applied that all over my lid, making sure to avoid my waterline because we're going to go back in with a eyeliner pencil. Then I'm taking a black eyeshadow. This is the Anastasia Noir eyeshadow, and I'm taking a Sephora Pro Crease brush, and I'm just patting that onto that black area just to set it and make sure it doesn't move. Alright, so now I'm going back in with that sponge, and I'm just applying a little bit more of that white face paint, and now I'm going in with a smaller brush. This is more like a detailer brush, and I'm going to make 2 triangles on my nose, and I'm going to connect them at the bottom. I didn't know exactly how I wanted to do this, so I just went for it and hoped for the best. So I just applied that to my nose, and it's sloppy right now, but it gets better. I go back in and I fix it up later. So next I'm taking this random crayon pencil thing that I got last year from the Halloween store, and I figured this would be great for outlining the teeth at first, and I just went in with this, and I just made these little sort of flame-like mouth. I don't really know how to explain how to do this. I just made some squiggly lines and connected them, and it just worked the best this way to outline it first, and this is the part that took the longest time. So if you don't have a lot of patience, then you probably want to go for something a little bit easier, but this took a lot of time. So now I'm going to go in with a smaller detail brush, and I'm going to apply that same black paint, and I once again, I didn't know exactly how I wanted to fill this in. I didn't know if I wanted to outline this first or if I wanted to go in straight away with the black paint. Alright, so I'm going back in with that detail brush and I am just outlining all of the teeth area. I didn't fill it in quite yet because I wasn't sure how I wanted to go about doing this. Like I said in the beginning, this whole thing was a learning experience for me, so I just kind of went with what I thought would work, and I just tried to make it work the entire time. So this is the part where I took a bigger brush and I started to fill in, and of course you can't see anything because I had the mirror up, but I just started filling in those areas. I just started filling in those areas with that black face paint, and I didn't really focus much on the details. I just went for it, and if I messed up, I went back in later on and filled it in. Next, I'm taking that same brush and I am sort of contouring my cheekbones, but not a lot, and then I'm taking a black shadow and I'm going to shade right underneath that black line that we used, and then I'm going to go in with a brown eyeshadow from the Lorac Pro Matte palette, and this is the shade Corduroy, and I'm going to be applying that right below that black shadow to shade a little bit more so it looks like our cheeks are sunken in just a little bit. I'm taking a fluffy brush, and this is just a Wet n Wild shader brush, and I'm just going to blend out those edges a little bit more. Next, I'm going in with a Sigma, I believe this is an eyeliner brush, and I'm just going to take a little bit of that Anastasia Noir eyeshadow, and I'm going to create these eyebrows. They were definitely off center, and so since they were so off center, I decided to go back into the eye socket and create a little triangle at the top so it meets inwards and it looks like my eyes are kind of giving that scowling look. So I'm going to take this Estee Edit eyeliner. This is the blackest eyeliner that I own, and it stays put so you don't need to set it. And I'm just going to take that and apply it to my tight line and my lower waterline. Next, I'm going to go down and do my chest area. I started off with that white face paint and I just applied it down my neck in a long stripe. I started with that black face paint and I started to go around the edges of that white face paint. And this is actually the second time that I did this. The first time I completely messed up so bad that I had to go and wash it all off and then redo it. So I am just applying it. This part is not perfect whatsoever, and it wasn't intended to be perfect. I just kind of sloppily put this on there and hoped that it would come out really good. So I applied it with a brush and then I went in with a very dense sponge. This is a Sonia Kashuk sponge. I don't use it for anything because it sucks pretty much, but for face paint it works really well because it really packs on that color. And here's where I kind of gave up with the face paint. I started making these drippy marks, so I took a bunch of water. Since these are water activated paints, you can use a little bit of water or you can use a lot of water, and the more water that you use the more sheer it is. So I decided to just create some lines on the neck and create some dripping marks. And after that, I decided that this was so incredibly boring that I decided I wanted to add some color into it. And the same thing that I did with the black, I took the aqua, I believe this is aqua, and I took a paintbrush, a smaller paintbrush, and a lot of water, and I mixed it together and I created these paint drips. And you'll see that I do that with a variety of colors. So first I used the teal and I applied it to my mouth, my chest, and then I go in with this hot pink color and I do the same exact thing, just finding spots that I feel like looks really well. You don't have to put a ton of them, but I really wanted this to be sort of colorful and not boring. So I just went in and I just pressed that brush against my skin and I let the paint drip. And I did the same thing with this sort of lime green, or it's more like a chartreuse color. And I did the same exact thing, applying it to areas that I felt were sparse. I splattered some paint. I used a sponge with this lilac purple color, and I just thought this gave a little bit of a different texture to the skin. And then I went in with this beautiful blue color that I want to do something with this so bad because it's so pretty. And I made some tear marks. And then I took my black paintbrush, this is the smaller one that I use, and I sort of dragged down that black face paint to make smudgy marks and just kind of destroy this entire look. That is it for the video, you guys. I hope you really enjoyed it. Don't forget to give it a huge thumbs up if you guys did like it. And I just wanted something creative and fun, and I didn't want it to be boring, so this is what I came up with. Don't forget to subscribe if you guys have not already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.